Hey guys, welcome back to Deadman 110 and welcome back to Harry Potter Years 5 to 7, or LEGO Harry Potter Years 5 to 7. We're doing, yet again, another free roam gameplay showcase video, and on the last one we took a look at Dudley Dursley, and now we're taking a look at Lily Potter, so more of the Potters basically. And Lily Potter gets two variants. She gets this one, and her young Corsal, I can't spell that word unfortunately, or at least not, I suppose, properly, but either way, that's the two variants that she has. Surprisingly, she doesn't have a ghost form, which is really surprising. Surely that's like in the files somewhere, so maybe when I get LEGO Harry Potter Years 5 to 7 on PC, I might be able to fix that problem, because there might be a ghost variant that I'm just simply not aware of. That's obviously something that's going to have to occur. And what the hell is this wizard doing? Seriously, he's just running and just trying to jump, and he's just stuck between the stool and the wall. That's hilarious. And then you just got that guy just confused out of his mind, like, what the hell are you doing? It's really, really funny, but anyway, so obviously I'll have to look into that, but yeah, so here are the two variants. Here's the first one, and looks pretty cool. Not much detail on her, unlike, you know, the other characters, such as Hermione Granger here, so not an awful lot of detail, but it's simple, it's effective. And in terms of spells, both of them have Reducto, Wingardium Leviosa. I don't know why I blanked out on that word, and even then I might have not even said it right. The Defendo spell, the Luminous Salon spell, the Aquamenti spell, and the Expecto Patronum spell. All two versions of Lily Potter have all those spells, so there you go. So she can also jump as well, both variants can. So there you go. And as you can tell, guys, here's an interesting thing. I didn't even notice this until now, but when you jump with the different variants of Lily Potter, they make a different sound. So like this one makes like a different sound, so it's obviously, so that's kind of how you know that it's a younger Lily Potter. And then this one makes a different sound that obviously makes you aware that this is like a more older Lily Potter. Always like it when these games go into details like that. It's really, really cool. Definitely adds a lot to the characters in game. But anyway, figured I would point that out, seeing as I just realised that now. But anyhow, so yeah. So as for the other variant, we just need to check that out until we, well, not until, but basically we'll check out this variant, and then I'll go on to information about Lily Potter. That's basically what we'll do. So here's the other variant, which looks fine. Has a bit more detail on it compared to the other one, which is always a bonus, obviously. But one thing I am kind of surprised about, and kind of not really annoyed, but more, I guess, disappointed, is the fact that they didn't, as far as I know, I don't think they did, but they didn't kind of show much age to the two versions of Lily. So it's like the older version should really have a bit more kind of age to it, whereas the young version should, I suppose, be like what it is, but obviously with a bit more young kind of vibes, I suppose. So that's just a little nitpick, but obviously I figured it was worth mentioning. But anyway, so what was I going to say? So yeah, we've taken a look at the versions of Lily Potter actually, before we go into information about it, we're going to do some comparisons. So I guess here's her with Hermione Granger, if you ever wondered how, well, that would be like. There you go. So, there you go. Fandom comes to life right here. But, either way. So, there's that little, comparison as I get stuck between the chairs. I'm literally doing what that wizard did. Oh, God. Anyway. So, I guess we couldn't really go with any old version of Harry, couldn't we? So, that could be... Yeah, it can be literally any of them. Or any of them. So, I'll just stick with this version, because this version is kind of my favourite version, because it's just kind of the... just casual look, which is cool. But, yeah, so here's Harry next to, well, Lily, as you can see here. So, there they are. Mother and son, of course. So you also get to have a bit of a fantasy where, well, Harry's basically a grown adult and, well, Lily gets to see him as that grown adult because, well, if you've obviously watched the Harry Potter series, then you'll get, obviously, what I mean, but obviously if you haven't, then you'll kind of find out what I'm saying, or what I will be saying in basically a few short minutes. But, anyway, so, we've compared Harry now to basically go with others. So, like, for example, Ronald, go with the wedding look, what the hell. Whatever floats the boat, I suppose. So, there's, Ron and Lily Potter standing, together. Again, more, obviously, fantasy fandom for you guys. So, there you go. Now to... Yeah, just one sec, guys. Let me just write this message, or at least see it. Yeah. Anyway, what was I doing? Ah, yeah. Showcasing Ron. So, anyway. Who do I want to do a comparison of now? I guess the Dursleys would make the most amount of sense. I won't do James Potter. I'll just simply do him on the next episode because I'm gonna do a showcase of him on the next episode. So that'll be, I don't know, tomorrow or the next day or something. You'll see it soon enough. So yeah, we'll do that then and only then. So that basically leaves Vernon, Petunia, and Dudley as I guess the three must compare to people in this whole showcase video. So here is Vernon. Come on. So there you go. You're basically seeing it now. The little comparison thing, but anyway, let's get it rolling. So we'll now compare Petunia Dursley and then Dudley Dursley, and then we'll go on to the information side of things. Finally. So there you go, there's the comparison, blah blah blah, basically. So there we go. Right. So we'll go with the grey top look, I suppose, for Dudley in terms of comparison. So here they obviously are. So there you go. That is basically that. And as for the thumbnail, guys, that I have for this video on my PC on desktop right now, I'll be at the time of recording this, obviously. I will be using that come when I obviously start uploading the video, and I'll do the same with the James Potter video too. So there you go. So there's the comparison, and now for the information. So information about Lily Evans Potter, basically. So information. So she goes to Hogwarts, and her I think sister Petunia Dursley basically wanted to go, but Dumbledore basically said no, and yeah, that basically broke the sisters up for basically life, and yeah, so they never obviously reunited again, and well, Petunia had cold blood towards her sister, so yeah, so that happens, and then Lily basically goes onto the train, and what's it? And she ends up meeting Severus Snape. Actually, no, that's before then. And then they just get to talking about basically all sorts of things to do with the Wizarding World, like the dark side of it, so like the dark arts and all these other things, as well as obviously yeah, they basically went on about the entire Wizarding World, so you can imagine how long that conversation was. So they were doing that, and then they went on the train to Hogwarts, and both of them ended up meeting James Potter, who Lily would eventually fall for. So yeah, they end up meeting him, and Snape basically does not like him, and basically never ends up liking him for the rest of life. So yeah, because basically James would always bully Thingy. Would always bully Snape and such. So yeah, Lily wasn't having any of it, and of course James had his gang of friends called, of course, the Marauders, which was him, Sirius Black, Remus Lupin, and what's it? Why am I blanking out on the guy who basically betrayed the whole group? I guess I'll look what his name is, even though I feel incredibly embarrassed right now. Wormtail, Rimmer Wormtail, or whatever the hell his name is. So yeah, so he basically turns his back on the group later on, but they're basically inseparable when they're at school together, and they basically start bullying Snape. We're going to bring out Wormtail, because as it turns out, there's a lot more comparisons I could be making here. So we're going to bring, obviously, him out here. But, yeah. So they're basically bullying him. Lily doesn't like it, so she basically stands up for Snape and for basically the whole of their school days. Well, not the whole of them, but a lot of them. And then Snape ended up calling, well, there's a comparison there, guys. But yeah, Snape ends up calling Lily something that would actually change their relationship for good, and therefore they never really did patch things up in the end in terms of their friendship. and that was the fact that Snape called Lily a mudblood in the fit of, well, rage. In other words, in the heat of the moment. So, yeah, that basically screwed up their entire friendship, and they were never really able to fix it, and that would play on Snape's mind even in adulthood, considering the fact that he would meet Harry Potter and obviously start treating him both good and badly, because, well, it was two sides of the same coin. He didn't like his father, but he loved his mother, so yeah, simple as that. So yeah, so that would basically happen all through Snape's adulthood. He would never really forget about it. So yeah, so that happens, and yeah, like I said, Snape gets bullied and calls Lily a mudblood, and then years later, this is believably when the first Wizarding War began. Voldemort, or Lord Voldemort, or Tom Riddle, ends up hearing about a prophecy, and that basically involves it basically involved either Neville Longbottom or Harry Potter, and in the end it involved Harry Potter, and that prophecy was he couldn't really obtain full power or really live unless he killed him, and Harry didn't know this. He was literally a tiny worm holder, like he was literally a baby, but Voldemort obviously knew this, so he went to the Potter's house and ended up setting out to do what he said that he would do, and that's basically murder them in cold blood. Apart from Harry, because Lily puts basically a love spell on Harry that keeps him alive even through teenage and even through starting adulthood, when of course the second Wizarding War actually ends. So yeah, that basically happens. And yeah, so Lily and James end up dying. That's when the first Wizarding War starts. And yeah, so that's basically what the prophecy was about, and that led to a lot of traumatic events in the Harry Potter series. A lot of traumatic events. So yeah, it was something indeed. So we did the comparison of Sirius Black and Lily Potter, and now we're doing Professor Lupin and Lily Potter right here. There's a little comparison thing, as you can tell. And yeah, of course, thanks to James Potter being friends with Lupin and Sirius and Wormtail. Well, not for the whole time, Wormtail, because like I said, he did turn his back on them and gave the Potters up to Voldemort. But the other three ended up being, or the other two, sorry, ended up being close, well, basically father figures to Harry. So Sirius was basically his godfather, and then Remus was, yeah, also protecting Harry as well. So they were, of course, very, very, very close. And it was, of course, very, very evident in The Prisoner of Azkaban when Lupin became Defense Against the Dark Arts teacher. So, yeah, so they, of course, remained close among, well, among obviously all the Wizarding Wars and such. And yeah, that basically kind of does it for well, a bunch of information on Lily Potter, and of course there was a lot of links between the Lupin showcase, the Snape showcase, the Harry Potter showcase, a bunch of different showcases, because well, all the characters that we did compare these two to as like a side-by-side thing are all heavily linked to the character, basically. Apart from James Potter, because like I said, we'll be doing a showcase of him tomorrow or something, so that's why I haven't done that comparison. But yes, that kind of does it for this video pretty much, guys. So yeah, if you guys enjoyed it, then like, comment, subscribe, share these videos. If we could get up to 60 likes, that'd be great. And yeah, ciao guys.